Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, let me introduce myself. My name is Daliana Sari and I'm from 4C class of English Education Department. Have a nice day guys. And in this video, I will show 7 current issues about ELT. And this video was made to fulfill my assignment in current issues and approaches. Guys, if you want to know, happy watching my video and hope you enjoy. Okay guys, I'm going to show you 7 current issues in ELT and I get it from the International Journal. And the first one is Exploring Motivational Strategies Practice by Saudi High School Female EFL Teachers. And this journal published by Canadian Center of Science and Education on 2020. And this study looked into Saudi female English as a foreign language or EFL teachers' perceptions of their motivational practice in the actual classroom in public and private schools. 40 EFL teachers filled out a questionnaire consisting of 44 motivational strategies that were based on a 5-point like score ranging from very important to not important. Descriptive statistics have been used to determine the most and the least important teaching strategies viewed by EFO teachers in private and public schools. To determine if there was any difference between private and public schools teachers on how they view each strategy in terms of importance, inferential statistics methods has been implemented. The study revealed that participants in both of educational contexts indicate that teachers' proper behavior is the most significant motivational strategy while having an encouraging environment in the EFO classroom was ranked the least important strategy. And the next one is Developing Students' Speaking Ability to Story Completions. And this journal from English Language Teachings or ELT published on June 2018. Speaking is a main tool of communications to others. Many people are difficult to speak English. Is caused by some factors such as need of information, less frequent of practice, loss of confidence, and so on. This research aimed to describe developing students' speaking ability to story completion. Story completion is very enjoyable in free speaking activity where students sit in a circle. There are 3 objectives of the research were to describe. The first one is to describe the implementations of story completion in teaching speaking, and the second one is to describe the improvement of speaking skills for students after being given story completion, and the third one is to describe the students' response to the implementations of story completion. Descriptive qualitative was applied as the method of the research while the observations was conducted to obtain the data to answer the first research about how are the implementation of story completion. The results show the techniques of story completion was successful implemented to improve the students' speaking skills. The technique can make students to encourage themselves to speak up. They have to be brave and have enough self-confidence when they want to talk something. The next one is YouTube videos on EFO college students listening comprehension. And this journal published by Canadian Center of Science and Education on June 2020. And this journal aimed to explore the effect of using YouTube as a supplementary materials with EFL college students. This research intended to reveal the improvement of the students' listening comprehensions after the 5-week treatment. Students participating in the study are all Taiwanese aged from 18 until 20 with a high intermediate level of proficiency in English. They were all in the same class and were exposed under the multimedia or YouTube learning environment. However, students were obliged to finish the pre-test and post-test. Moreover, the questionnaire was offered to them in order to know the perceptions of reflections of students with integrating YouTube into course as well. In this research, paired t-test was used to find out if there was a significant difference that exists before and after the treatments. Also validate the pre-specified results. And the next one is foreign language teaching in overcrowded classes. And this journal published by Canadian Centre of Science and Education on January 2019. The importance of English in foreign language learning has been widely accepted in recent years, and the English language is now well established as an international language. There is a growing significance of foreign language in education. As English has been widely used internationally, many people are interested in English and prefer learning English. When it is considered in public schools, English teaching has become more intense in school curricula. There are many barriers in language teaching from primary education to higher education. One of the most important barriers in foreign language teaching is crowded, especially overcrowded classes. In crowded classes, classroom management grading results from language approaches become difficult. In addition to this, a small number of class hours per week is another barrier in language teaching. The purpose of the study is to examine this issue and to examine the questions of how language teaching is handled in these crowded classes and what different activities are useful to apply. If the educators are unable to change the classroom order, what are the appropriate language activities and how to apply them? The next one is the integration of native language in EFO classes, and this journal published by Canadian Centre of Science and Education in January 2019. This article shows how the integration of native language in EFO classes affects positively the teaching and learning process of English as a foreign language. The methodology shows the quantitative approach performing different processes and techniques adapted to the requirements of the investigation. Data is the result of tests done to two groups of 15 students into class at a university. Surveys and interviews. There is a theoretical research from authors about the use of native language in EFO classes, which make the investigations very solid. The results show that the integrations of students' native language in the learning of English as a foreign language can help them achieve their learning goals. The next is impact of related activities on reading comprehensions of EFL students, and this journal published by Canadian Centres of Science and Education on 2020. This experimental study report in this article is casual research since it aims to improve reading comprehensions of EFL students by means of applying pre-related reading activities. The study is quantitative. It uses two instruments. The first one is reading adjustment score developed by Whittaker to determine the efficacy of pre-related reading activities, and the second one is pre-test or post-test to measure comprehension level after implementing related reading activities. The subjects, 70 EFO learners, were students in an English college in Breda City. The research used two groups, experimental and control groups. The subjects in the control groups were receiving regular reading instructions, whereas those in the experimental groups did some pre-related reading activities at home and before the class. Multiple statistical tests were used to find out reliability regressions and Pearson's correlations. The result of the study showed the difference between the two groups was statistically significant. The students in the experimental groups far outperformed those in the control group. The last one is innovative methodology in English teachings, and this article is published on August 2019. Learning the English language is a key to face global challenges in this modern, scientific, sophisticated, robotic, and technological world. English is taught in Sri Lanka as a second language for many years, but still, we could not achieve remarkable improvement in communication skills. Many direct and indirect factors influence our English teaching learning industry functioning in a handicapped manner. The first and foremost reason is that we still cling on the traditional way of teaching English. We hardly use innovative technology in teaching English. We Sri Lankans are not in a position to change our attitude in our talks and actions. There are more than 200,000 teachers, 10,000 schools, and 4.5 million students in the country. The government every year spends billions of rupees on education and educational reforms, but the system is still retarding without proper effective implementations of those projects. Okay guys, enough for my video and thank you for watching my video. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.